Hello, everyone. Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our PBT listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/PBT and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download your title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/PBT.
You better.
Wow.
Hey everyone, welcome into Peanut Butter and Triggered. I'm Scott, joined by my main man.
Jason, what's up?
And our youngster and birthday-ster. He's turning 17 years old today.
Jacob Barr, what's up?
Oh, I thought your name was Barara or some shit like that.
No, it's...
I thought it was Boner.
It's mostly pronounced Boner, and then people go, Jacob Boner? And I'm like, no, it's Borer.
For all of you Nazis out there, it's Jacob Barr.
It's Jacob Boner, yeah?
Yeah.
Today, we have a condensed show. We like it that way, though. PDW, a little bit of news, Pixel, and Jose and I disagree on our rating systems. So that's what we're going to do. Hey, Jay, you want to start us off with your P, your D, and possibly a little bit of your W?
Only if it wasn't so sexual, I would give you whatever P you're talking about, but I haven't been playing anything. So I've been watching a lot of stuff, though. So I just wrapped up the first season of Righteous Gemstones. I think you did too, right?
Yeah, yep. Is that the 8th episode, I want to say?
It's 8th or 9th, I can't remember. It ended on a bombshell. No, it didn't. It ended with some closure. It ended with some closure, but I mean, there definitely is room for like a proper season 2. Everything was pretty much buttoned up, but I still do see like a lot of contention within the Gemstone ranks. So I was happily satisfied with it. I'd give on the J scale. I'd give the entire season 1 an A-, because it started off pretty damn slow. And I understand that it was to set everything up, and then you had that, I think it was like episode 5 or something like that, where they had that backstory that slowed things down too much. But then it picked right back up, and it got like right into the action. The story was good, the acting was really hilarious, and there were even some like little bits and pieces, like little dynamic pieces of subplots that kept me compelled.
Yeah. I'm gonna just, before you continue, I'm just gonna say I gave it a 5.5, and I'll explain that rating later because I'm changing my rating system.
Oh my god! Then you're gonna have to revise all of your ratings.
No,
hey,
I'm not going to.
Jay, by the way, you lied. You are playing something. You can tell them what you're playing before the podcast started.
Yeah, I am playing Skate.
Don't lie to our fucking viewers, okay?
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Boner. I'm playing Skate 2.
Oh snap! On Xbox
wow.
360?
No, it's on it's on the Android. It's the Google Play Pass, one of the free games on there.
Is it actually Skate 2?
No, but it's just as fucking hard. You have to use your fingers to create these moves, and it's not as predictable as Skate 2 was.
Is it called Skate 2?
It is called Skate 2.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know it was actually called Skate 2. I thought you were just saying yes when I literally randomly said that.
Yeah, it's Touch Grind Skate 2.
Can I touch in on something real quick?
No.
I basically have not played any of the Apple Arcade stuff. I played a bunch of them, and like a bunch of them, like I thought they were going to be cool and polished. They were, but none of them grabbed me.
Scott, can I tell you something? First of all, how dare you? You have a responsibility to our listeners to be up on the Apple Arcade. Second of all, how dare you? Because you have access to something that I don't have access to and I would actually probably use. And third of all, how dare you for lying to us saying that you were going to give this a shot and you haven't.
I did. Listen. I did give it a shot, is what I'm saying. I played like 12 games. And I probably played for a total of 2-3 hours all these different games. I was just saying that, like, of all of them, none of them like grabbed me. None of them I would sit and play for long periods of time.
Okay,
That was
you know what? And fourth of all, how dare you for not letting me shun you and just take it? Okay.
Okay. Hey, one thing I need to say too. Hey, shout out to Josh. He always listens to the first 15 minutes.
Oh,
so
nice.
He just wants us to get the credit.
Oh, he does?
And I wanted to shout him out before we got past 15 minutes.
Well, maybe you'll listen to a little bit more than 15 minutes. Maybe we'll give you something else to listen to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He has to enjoy it, otherwise he drops out, which I can understand.
Yeah.
What
So
else?
I caught up on Great British Baking Show. I can't say that I didn't see that coming.
Depressing.
So for all of
but
you that
good.
do watch it, this is your warning. There will be a spoiler here in the next 30 seconds, starting now. I did think that it was a really tough week. I did think that there were a lot of really good performances, but also mixed up with like some really so-so performance. Nothing that was absolutely shitty, but dude, I can't even begin to tell you like how difficult everything looked. And then Michael had been screwing up for weeks, so it was about time.
It was his personality that really carried him through, I think. And also,
He's a perfectionist.
God damn, like that one they had to do at the end, or no, it was the first one where they had to cook all those cakes and like
Yeah,
Oh,
in
yeah.
the layers. That shit was like, I can't even imagine that.
yeah. They look
But
like melted crayon wax.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
What anime are you guys talking about?
Oh, you're close, but you're like so far off. We're not talking about
Oh.
anime. We're talking about a
Oh.
British reality show called Great British Bake Off.
Yeah, I
you
don't
remember
know what
you-
reality is.
Well, you look like Henry from the show.
I don't look like fucking Henry, okay?
He's right.
No,
It's
I
not
don't.
me. One of our customers said, that, "Hey, you look like Henry from Great British Bake Off." And he goes, "I don't know who the fuck that is, but Jay knows who that is." And I was like, "Oh my god! If you dyed your hair like just slightly like darker brown, you would be Henry." And then I told
Actually, she looks at Jay and she goes, "Henry?" And Jay was like, "What?" And she's like, "Henry from Great British Bake Off." And because I like told her, I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't watch that show." I was like, "But he does over there."
Yeah.
And so she like turned and like yelled Henry, and he's like, "What the fuck is
Yeah.
going on?"
Well, and you know what? The other funny thing is, I told Katie, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that looks exactly like him. Where the top of his
No.
head is bigger than the
I
rest
can
of his head."
I look like Putin.
You?
No,
Okay, I was
gonna
gonna
say
say that'd be
Russian.
terrible if you did. Sorry, man.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Anything else, my good sir?
I did watch Joker. I would like to wait to discuss it with you all if you're planning on watching it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can just give you a quick rating. But I don't know. Are you guys gonna
Let's
watch
give you
it?
a quick rating, but don't spoil anything.
My rating, I would give it an A. It is completely different from what I thought it was. The rendition of Joker is completely different from anything else that has been that has actually been put on the silver screen. I will say that Heath Ledger was a great Joker. This portrayal of the Joker is much more real. It is much more sympathetic in the sense that I could definitely see something like this happening. And then, not to say that I feel bad for this Joker, because I don't. I think that he's a total psychopath. I definitely see this being more realistic, the way that the story was told. And then the other thing too, if DC is maybe if DC is going to have any sort of revival, I would use this movie as a catapult. Mainly because it's the darker, it's the grittier, it's the more realistic feel that DC needs, as opposed to their previous movies that have been shitty, and as opposed to Marvel's movies that are just they're polished, they're colorful, they're spectacular, they're not as real. So this would be a really good duality of what Marvel has out there right now, and it does set everything up for a series of DC movies set just as Joker was.
Well,
I have a
that's
question.
good.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong. I remember this from like years ago when like the newer Batman came out, probably like 6 or 7, maybe even longer than that.
The Nolan Batmans?
Wasn't there like a thing where like everybody who played Joker died?
No, because Jack Nicholson's alive. Jared Leto is
Okay.
alive, and I guess Heath Ledger killed himself shortly after, but that was about it.
The other guy was old
Okay.
as fuck, the guy from way back in the day.
I
Yeah.
don't know why I thought that. I thought I heard something saying that like how everybody that like the last like 3 people that played Joker had died, but this is like years ago.
Maybe it was like cursed or something. I don't know. I do remember something along those lines. There was even like this YouTube video that was like floating around, like where are they now? All the people that played Joker.
Yeah.
You know what is funny though? That's slightly related to Joker. You all know Panda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He has the absolute worst Joker laugh I have
Oh.
ever heard in my life. It sounds like a duck quacking. Yeah, I'm gonna record it and I'm gonna put it on my soundboard so that we'll have a new
A new
laugh track. Laugh track, yeah.
Oh my
Good.
god. It's so bad.
Oh, it's terrible. But rest in peace, Panda. We love you.
We love you.
That's everything I'm watching and have watched.
Jacob?
I don't think really much has changed. Still playing WoW. Oh, actually, Apex just released a new like spooky event called it's like Shadow Walkers or something like that. And I was actually playing that. It's pretty fun. It's like a whole like different take on a BR. You basically like you spawn in, and you have to like get loot, and then you have to like play it like a BR where you kill people. And then once you die, you get a second life where you become a shadow. And then after about like half of the people are dead, there's a ship that spawns, and the people that are alive, or maybe it's like the last 10 people or something silly, but and the ring still like closes and stuff like a normal BR. Those people are now on a team, and they have to go to the ship to win. But they basically have to kill the people that have died and turn into shadows. They have to like kill him, and the people that are shadows like can see like them from like a super far distance, and they like 2-shot you. So it's pretty intense.
It's nice to see innovation.
Yeah, I know. I feel like Apex always kills it when it comes to like BRs. They've like implemented a lot of things that other BRs adopted, like the reviving system and stuff. But I haven't been really doing anything. I'm just watching the second season of Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon? But it's anime. Nobody likes anime apparently, so
You need to create your own anime podcast.
by
You can
myself.
have on your anime friends.
Scott, I have a question.
Okay.
Can you give me your best Peggy Hill impersonation?
Peggy Hill. Oh yeah.
That's good. That was really good.
That's actually really good. I was expecting this to sound like shit. I was like talking to Jay before. I was like, I'm just gonna throw him off. I'm gonna ask him to do this.
Okay, do it again real quick.
Throw me off you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And what you can't see is I'm actually putting down like the Boggle thing. You know, like she plays Boggle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can see that, but I'm doing that in person.
Okay. Thanks for giving our viewers a little mental image.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Well, I have been playing some MLB The Show, boring shit for people who don't like sports. They are currently doing an Escape from Tarkov, a game I play. That every like few months they release a big patch, so they're doing a server-wide event where the first month they turned all the easy scavs into really hard raiders, so they made them have a lot better gear and a lot harder. Then they took the store offline and made it so it was all player-based economy. And I think soon they're going to make it so everything's insanely cheap. So you can get whatever gun you want, basically. And then they wipe the server and everyone has to restart. So I'm going to get back into that. Righteous Gemstones. I also watched Great British Baker. And I also watched El Camino, which very, very, very good. If you watch Breaking Bad, like I super highly recommend it. I have to say, I truly wish that Skinny Pete and Badger got their own TV show, because they were really highlights of the show. They were so fucking funny. at the beginning, like the way they trash talk each other, and I don't know. I just find them to be comical drug addicts. But yeah, very good, and really some closure on what not only happened to Jesse Pinkman during his time in captivity, but also some closure on his story, what happens after he escapes. So the movie literally picks up right when the show ends. So I have to say, very good. 9.0, which is very high praise for me, or 9.5.
What is that in the
Can I
what
ask you
is
a quick
that in the
question
regular grading
about
scale?
drugs?
Sure.
Have you seen that? I haven't seen this. Jay, I heard somebody talking about it, and then Jay was like, "Oh yeah, I've watched that." The documentary of Steve-O talking about every drug he's done and like watching the videos of him too.
No, I think I saw that. Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I really want to watch it actually. I'll probably
I
talk
haven't
about it
It's
next
like
episode.
15 minutes. You could easily watch it.
Oh,
Okay.
give me one sec.
We just,
I'll be right back.
We'll wait.
He's just fucking around with his mic.
Yep.
Sorry.
Other than that, back on, of course, like I've been playing Battlefield for a long time, but they're set to release the Pacific DLC hopefully here soon, as long as they don't fuck it up more, because they're the worst developers ever in history. But yeah, that's all I'm playing, doing, and watching. Wow. On to our next piece of business. Hey, let's talk a little bit about news.
Yeah,
And
why not?
I'm going to start it with, Internet Archive has just released 2,500 MS-DOS games that are free to play. If you guys haven't played some MS-DOS games, there are some in there that are actually way more in-depth and way better than you think that a DOS game could be. They have like one that's called I can't remember what it's called, but you basically play as the surgeon, and people come in and you have to diagnose them, but you can just click send them to surgery, like no matter what, and you can just cut them open, and then after they'll like you get in trouble and shit. There's just a lot of games on there. If you're ever bored and you want to play some old cool games, Secret of Monkey's Island's one of them. That's a very good game. But yeah. Other news. Go ahead.
Do you think old games like that are hard?
They can definitely be super hard. Yes, it depends on the game.
I always thought that they were hard, and I always find myself every time I come back to a video game that I thought was hard, it's always super fucking easy.
Well, they have,
Like I just realized how stupid I was. I'm like, God, I'm such a fucking idiot.
No, there's definitely some out there that are difficult. Some have like terrible control schemes.
Dude, you remember the GameCube game? It was on I almost said it was on Nintendo 64. Zelda Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Took me like months to get to this ice level, and I like went bought a GameCube because I was like craving that game, and it took me like literally 2 days to get to that level.
I remember one time when I was in high school, I used to work at Taco Bell with this guy. Shout out to Eddie. He used to drive this like 1982 Camaro with a hole in the floor, like you could literally see as you're driving, you could see the ground like through the floor. And Eddie had this game. It was called Run Like Hell. It was this PS2 game that was actually sponsored by Balls, the energy drink, BAWLS. I don't know if you've ever had that.
I have it tastes like Sprite.
But so he had it, and I went over to his trailer, and he's like, show me all his games. I was like, hey, Run Like Hell looks cool. It's like an alien, like kind of like Alien, the movie, but in game form. And he's like, yeah, all you do is run like hell. He's like, you don't even get any guns. He's like, I played it for like 6 hours, and I just couldn't get past anything because you just run from all the enemies. I was like, damn, okay, let me give it a try. So I took it home, plugged it in, and like right off the bat, I pressed down on the D-pad and got a gun, and like started shooting and got further than he did in like 10 minutes. So I called him, or the next day I went and talked to him, and I was like, dude, you know that if you press down on the D-pad, you can actually pull out your gun? And he had never figured that out. So he was just trying to play the game with no gun.
Dude, that's the name of the game, Run Like Hell. He's playing how the game was meant to be played.
Yeah, it's true.
Fucking man.
But yeah, anyway. My next piece of news, and I mean, I don't have a lot of news because I don't think there's been a ton of news, but League of Legends coming to consoles, which is really weird. One of the most popular games in the world, coming to not only consoles but also phones.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
This is going to be called League of Legends Wild Rifts. It's going to make some changes on the PC version, including an updated version of the map and a new user interface. I believe making it smaller. And also, games will last 15 to 20 minutes as opposed to anywhere from 30 to an hour, depending on the game on PC. I'll definitely download that game for sure. I love League.
Did you ever play Diablo?
Of course.
Well, I didn't play Diablo. I thought it kind of sucked.
You
So
played it then at some point.
I got it for free, because the WoW was doing this thing where if you had a WoW subscription, you got Diablo 3 for free. And I downloaded it and I played it for maybe like an hour and then never played it ever again.
Game.
Sorry if I hurt your feelings.
Well.
So do you remember like a while ago when Blizzard was making their like everybody's excited for the next Diablo game and they're like, oh, this is gonna be like the best Diablo game ever, and then they said it's
like a
mobile
game.
only. Did that ever release?
Diablo, what's it called? I know you're talking about. I don't think so. I don't think it's been released.
That's what I was just curious because I was watching this is actually correlated to news too. I was watching a YouTuber who always makes Blizzard games, and he was talking about the whole Korea and China thing that's going on or Hong Kong, not Korea, and he like basically was just talking about all like the disappointments that Blizzard's had, and he said that was one of them. But I didn't realize that they like mobile games like that. The reason that they're making mobile games like that is because there's a huge mobile game market in China.
Yeah,
No
and
idea.
also they make a fucking shit ton of money.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's where all their stockholders are.
Yeah, those mobile games that people are jumping on, like people even jump on for just like 20 minutes, and it will say, "Hey, do you want to spend $1 or $2 or $3
Oh, dude,
on the
it's
starter
crazy.
pack?" And you're like, "Well, fuck, dude, I might play this. Yeah, $3. What's $3?" Yeah, so they get a lot more people to buy it at $3 than they ever would at $60 or for full retail. And also they have people like, I don't know if you guys have ever met someone who's playing like fucking Clash of Clans and they have thousands of dollars into the game.
Oh yeah,
Bio Boss had like literally thousands of dollars into Clash of Clans.
you guys bag on me for watching anime.
Well, there's no one here to bag on to talk about fucking playing Clash of Clans.
Have you guys seen the new Call of Duty mobile
Of
game?
course. Oh yeah, I played it.
I naturally like downloaded. I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, Call of Duty, and took me like 30 seconds to a minute just to get through all like the pop-ups for like, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. I was like, holy shit, dude, I just want to play the fucking game.
Jay, did
So
you
I know
play
exactly
that
what you're talking about.
No, I have not.
No,
should-
why not?
It's not bad. I mean, it's Call of Duty, but it's just simplified and on the phone. It's smooth.
Yeah, it's really good actually.
On the S9 Plus is what I played it on, and it ran really smooth. Although I'm pretty sure it said I was playing multiplayer, but I went like 27-0. So I was like, okay, there's no way I'm actually playing multiplayer here. Like on my fucking first game, I'm gonna go 27-0.
Oh yeah, that's
You
what happened
always
to me,
do
too.
that though.
But like, I swear I'm playing against bots. Like they're so stupid.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was doing that, but then I started playing against like other people. I was like, shit, this guy's actually kind of good.
When
But
I
yeah, first game I ran out of ammo and I started just knifing everybody. I got like
Yeah.
20 something kills with just a knife.
Oh, that's different.
same thing happened. Like when Jay and I first met, we were playing PUBG. Like we were really slow at our store, and we would just sit like in the back playing PUBG on our
That
phones,
was so fun.
and we just like win over and over again.
There was
I
that
think
one
it's-
time I was the first person killed though, and that was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, that's harder to do. I feel like it's harder to be the first person killed than it is to win the game.
Yeah.
You have to like jump out first and then die first.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
It's pretty
Do you
difficult.
play any mobile
That's how I
games?
did it.
Jay?
I'm currently, like, literally as we're speaking, I'm playing Touch Grind Skate 2. No, I also play. I've been playing Stardew Valley. That one is still it's a good time waster.
Yeah, for sure.
The whole idea with my PlayStation giving me remote play access now, I'm more doing that. I don't even really bring my Switch around with me anymore. And then I think there's like another like fun game that I've been playing a little bit of. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Limbo. And then you got Knights of the Old Republic. Those are the ones I'm playing.
Limbo and Oh yeah, I want to play Knights of the Old Republic.
Do it. It looks like it's like It's more HD now. It still looks like they're shitty graphics. Do you remember in like GoldenEye when it looked like the textures were just wrapped around like blank men? You know what I mean? The graphic textures. That's what it looks like still.
Well, like part of me wants to buy that game, but like since Android is just my work phone, it's hard to like want to actually pay the money for that. Whatever it's called, Play Pass or whatever.
Pass,
yeah, it's always that's why I would never do it too. Is because I'm same position. My work phone's an Android, and I'm like, I don't know, it's just not worth it to me.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, do you guys have any other news you'd like to touch on before we talk a little bit about maybe that Pixel launch?
Oh,
no.
Let's do it.
Well, Jay, why don't you tell us about a little Pixel launch?
I was underwhelmed by it. I know that like a bunch of the stuff that we already found out about the new Pixel was leaked, like the design, the colors, what's in the box. But I was just hoping that maybe we were missing something because I know that the Google Pixel's camera has been something it's actually competed really well with a lot of the phones that have multiple lenses, and maybe even have the edge, depending on who you ask. Marcus Brownlee, MKBHD, has a total stick up his ass for the Pixel 4 not having an ultra wide angle lens. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the phone's still going to take really good photos and videos. The screen is also a 90 hertz refresh rate, and it could mean that it's going to get really shitty battery life, considering that the smaller one is like 2800 milliamps. So that's one thing I'm worried about. I think the phone's too thick. I think that giant camera cluster looks tacky. I think that for the
what are your thoughts while you're talking about form factor? The fact that they got rid of the notch like altogether, and now it's just like kind of an old school a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go to. So like the forehead and the chin, for the phone being as thick as it is, I don't think that those forehead and chin should be as large as they are either. So I don't think the phone looks really good at all. I think it looks like a phone that may have come out maybe 4 years ago, minus the cluster, because I think that's the latest trend with smartphones now.
I'm looking at it right now. It actually I think it looks pretty nice. It looks like an iPhone though.
Oh.
Did you is the fingerprint scanner in the glass?
No fingerprint scanner. There's the only biometrics is the facial recognition. Now
so
they do
the iPhone.
Well, kind of, but kind of not. So the reason why I say kind of is because yes, that's the only biometric feedback that you get, just like the iPhone. But they're doing something different where they put a radar scanner in that giant forehead, along with like a bunch of like different sensors and camera lenses. But the reason that they have that radar detector is because when you're picking up your phone, it preps the camera so that it instantly like just unlocks by seeing your face. You don't have to hit the power button. It just unlocks and goes to the screen, which is nice. And the other reason why they have that radar sensor in there is because you actually have the ability to use air gestures. Like, you remember when like the Samsung Galaxy S4 came out? That was like its biggest claim to fame. Like, you had Smart Stay and Smart Swipe and all that stuff. It's kind of like that, except they're using radar rather than like the proximity sensor.
Do you think people actually use that? I know, like when that was out, like there were like very few people I felt like who were actually like, using these gestures.
Well, according to MKBHD, they didn't even really work that well either. So I don't see a lot of people using it, and I don't see it working very well.
Well,
but I don't have my hands on it, so I couldn't tell you for sure.
When you compare the look of the Pixel 3 XL to the look of the Pixel 4 XL, the front side at least, to me, the Pixel 3 looks like a newer phone than the Pixel 4. Maybe just because of the notch. I don't know, because the phone is longer now. It's an extra 1/10 of an inch long, and it's just kind of a different form factor than the old phone was. So 19:9 aspect ratio, which is a little different than the old one that was 18.5:9. Yeah. Not much different, but I don't know. It looks interesting. I can understand where people are coming with they want a wide-angle lens.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably going to be, if it's anything like the old Pixel, I mean, the Pixel 3 competed with like phones that came out way after it.
Yeah. Well, and here's
So-
the other thing too. It doesn't even have the latest chipset. So, like, as the Snapdragon 855 instead of the 855 Plus, which some phones already have, it's. I mean, who knows? Because I think the Pixel 3 even had like a Snapdragon like 835 instead of the 45, and it was still able to compete with benchmark scores and stuff like that. But I'm not super intrigued by this phone. Again, I'll have to wait until I actually get my hands on it to see what it's like to actually use. I'd like to take some video, take some photos, see how the camera is, and I'd also like to like run like PS4 remote play with that screen.
Are you gonna get it?
I might not, but if I do, then it'll probably be my work phone.
One thing I will say is that, like I was hoping, this is like a minor nitpick, but I was hoping their base model would be like a higher storage to be up with the other flagship Androids, like a 128, because it's still just a 64.
One thing that just to about like the battery size we were talking, Jay. I know it has like a really small milliamp amount. The one thing though is I've seen a lot of people do like the new iPhone 11 Pro versus the Note 10.
Yeah.
Like tests and stuff, because people always compare the Note versus the new iPhones, and the iPhone has a smaller milliamp. I think it's like 300 milliamps smaller than the Note. But when the people were doing like battery tests, the iPhone actually beat it.
It's because the iPhone's so much more efficient.
Yeah.
Same with their core scores and their
it can have a
their
smaller
benchmarks.
Yeah.
I think they still
smaller-
run like dual cores or something like that because they have the A whatever chip plus whatever co-motion processor that they have.
Yeah, the
So-
A13, I think.
Yeah. So it's not nearly as hot of a phone. It doesn't run as hot. And then the other thing too, the OS itself. I mean, it's capable of doing enough, but it doesn't do as much. Like there's not enough like customization for an Android user.
Yeah, there's definitely less customization, and I feel like iPhones are a little smoother, but I can understand wanting to I want to customize them. Like, Jesus Christ, it's freaking 2019, and we just got a dark mode. I had a
Right.
dark mode on my fucking Galaxy S1.
Right.
You know, like
Well, here's the thing. I think that any phone is going to be pretty damn smooth now, depending on like how many applications you have open in the background. I know that like a lot of times, like whenever I'm helping somebody or I'm talking to my friend, or when I had an iPhone, the second I had like more than like 4 apps open in the background, it ran like shit. And then now that I have like an Android, I'm running multiple apps in the background, and it performs like the exact same. At least that's what it feels like to me.
the iPhone now with its ability to standby apps, you can have all the apps in the background, and it'll never slow you down.
That's fat. I think that's much needed because that was one thing that really got to me with iPhones.
Yeah,
Having to always clear that. Yeah.
Yeah, I see people clearing it on the iPhone. I'll just say you don't have to do that. In fact, it's better on your battery life, from what I understand, to not do that, because you don't constantly have to restart your programs. Just leave them how they are. But,
do you have the 11?
Yeah, the 11 Pro Max.
I just got one.
Yeah, I just got mine today.
It's nice. I was just
Um,
curious.
yeah. But I mean, we'll see with the Pixel 4 XL. This is the thing. I called the Pixel the Android of iPhones. You know, the iPhone
iPhone
of
Androids.
Androids. Yeah, it's like plain Jane. It doesn't do a lot in the way of like new crazy shit, but I know it's gonna be a good phone. You know, I know it's gonna work well.
It's no frills, no gimmicks. It is what it is. It works really well. It performs pretty damn well too. I am curious to see how this Pixel 4 is going to do though. I am a bit worried, but we'll see.
I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like in general the Androids haven't done great this year compared to, I feel like the iPhone killed it. And the Androids, like the Note was like kind of popular, but
I think
too.
it was the opposite though. Because I've read like a bunch of articles that say that the 11 and 11 Pro Max are basically just slight upgrades.
For sure, but I'm saying I'm talking as a line. If you look at the 10R, the 10R is fucking killing it. Even today, the 10R killed it last year, and the 10R people are still oh yeah, I have an SE, I don't really want to upgrade. Well, you can get the 10R for whatever it is,
right.
$600, and people are oh, perfect,
No, that's a good point.
But I agree with you. Yes, I don't think the Pro and even the 11 is a big enough step up. But when you look at their line, I feel like their line is more robust than ever. But I agree with you that the top end phones are way overpriced for what you get.
Yeah,
they're still good phones, and I have one, like I said, but definitely expensive for what you're getting at this point.
And they went back to LCD screens, right? Instead of the OLED?
No, they didn't. It's OLED. It's still OLED.
Oh,
I know. I was just about to bring that up. You brought that up the other day, and I was like, no, they're still OLED, I'm pretty sure. And I just looked it up. They're OLED still.
No, but their 11 is LCD. Just the regular 11. But the Pro is OLED.
Yeah. Okay. I could see why the 11 would be LCD.
Yeah, the 11 and the 10R. And then if you... they also have crazy low pixel densities on the 11 and the 10R. Both the screens are actually if you were to compare them to other flagship smartphones, are fucking terrible. But I don't think they look that bad. They definitely don't look as good as the other flagship phones, but they're also cheaper phones. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Apple was the first person to start making cheaper phones, correct? Not like cheaper phones, but like med level. Like the 10R was the first kind of its kind, right? And then Samsung made the A50, and then Google made the 3A.
Samsung had all those really shitty ones too, though.
Yeah, but they've always had their shitty ones. But this is the first time they had this one where they're well, it's still shitty, but it's not as shitty.
Yeah.
I think what I would argue is that they've done affordable right, because they raised the prices with the 10 when the 10 came out, and people were couldn't believe it was $1,000.
Yeah.
And they came back around and said, wait, get this one for $700, and people were like, that's so cheap. When $700 isn't that cheap. When you compare it to a Motorola or even a Pixel, sometimes they're often on sale or whatever. But
right.
Yeah, they're doing it right. I think Apple's really hitting it.
One thing that's dope is that it's available for all major carriers. The Pixel, again.
Yeah. If you buy it off Google's website.
Yeah, I remember I had a carrier that didn't offer it and I had to go through Google to get it. Sometimes that's more of a pain in the neck than just getting it through your carrier and doing whatever their device finance option is. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a lot of people just don't want it. A, they don't have the money, or B, they just. You're exactly right. Just ease of use, people stopping into their AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever and just picking up whatever device just to make it easy.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but yeah. Anything else we want to say about the Pixel? Oh, didn't they announce a few other things the Nest Home or whatever?
Yeah, so it's basically the Home Mini, but with the Home Nest features built in, and then it also gives you the ability to make emergency calls from one of your Google devices. That's nice. The sound's supposed to be better. They added more mics for easier Google commands and stuff. So I mean that part is nice. It's still $50. They added a new color, yada yada yada.
No, I'm talking about the one with the screen. That one's more than 50. It's $230.
Oh,
the
and
Pixel Net. I think it's called Pixel Net.
They did a a Pixel Go or something.
Oh really?
Yeah. And that one has it looks really stupid actually. It has a rigid top side,
real stupid.
So that it has more grip. So it's okay, whatever. The Pixel Buds are set to come out
AirPods
spring.
Much?
Yeah. Well, according to that little trailer that they showed, it'll do real time translation in your ear, which is what they promised before.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucked.
Yeah. Well, it didn't
Nest
work.
Wi-Fi routers.
It wasn't real time. It was on your screen. It didn't translate it to you. It wasn't like a bagel fish.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I think it's definitely interesting. I'm waiting. I'm surprised we don't see a watch from them, dude.
That was the rumor.
God, dude.
That was the rumor. but
that's
they
the
didn't
real
do it.
selling point. Like I've talked to people who have said, you know what, like Pixel's cool, but like I like the idea of a Samsung or an Apple Watch. Like I like having all the things, and they don't have one. And now that the Samsung Watch won't even work on a Pixel,
Yeah, well,
it doesn't work as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, the only things
one
that
thing
it doesn't do would be like some of the weird gestures that like work on like Samsungs or like using the Samsung proprietary apps. It does everything else.
Oh, okay, well I stand corrected then. But still, just like in general, having the device that's made for your phone is really nice.
Yeah, you're right.
But I can understand that. Yeah, the orange is kind of interesting choice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the black bezel as a whole, like all of them have black bezels or black outer shell things.
Yeah. The metal frame on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob looks like he would like the orange one.
No. Because it looks like Goku's training outfit.
You probably drink Sunny Delight too, you sicko.
I do.
Sunny Delight's terrible. It makes my throat feel weird.
Is that Sunny D?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit's gross, dude.
Somebody on the internet said Sunny Delight seems like an experiment where somebody said try to make orange juice without using any oranges.
Yeah, it's true.
I have never heard somebody call it Sunny Delight.
That's for us old folks.
Old people.
Yeah,
our old people.
Because they changed it. They remember the old commercial was like, "What do you have in your fridge?" It's like, I got soda, purple stuff, Sunny D. All right. That's when it was called Sunny Delight, though. Now they shortened it to Sunny D.
It reminds me of that Chappelle skit where Chappelle like goes over to like his white friend's house, and he looks in the fridge. He's like, "Hey man, you want some grape juice?" And Chappelle's just like, "What the fuck is juice?" He's like, "All we had was grape drink. I ain't ever had grape juice." He like doesn't know what juice is, just grape drink.
That's funny.
Anyway, yeah. Well, let's just touch on a little something. I guess I'll start us off with this rating. I've been thinking a lot about this rating.
Oh
system.
my god. Yeah, I know. I can tell.
I truly despise like the rating system because like everything in the world is like either a 9 or an 8 or a 10. Like no one ever rates anything a 4. Like why are you so closed off, my dude? Like broaden your horizons. I want like a more specific rating based on the show. Everything's have to be 8.5.
You don't think anybody rates something a 4?
No one ever. Listen to my rating system, okay?
Okay.
This is what I'm going with now. A 5 is an average show, okay? Like that's a show that you just kind of watch and you're like, it's okay, I guess. That's a 5. A 1 would be like Resident Evil 4, where it's a fucking terrible movie and it's the worst thing ever. Now, a 10 would be like never rated. You never rate anything a 10. There's very few 10s. It has to be a perfect movie. An example, Forrest Gump. Perfect fucking movie. There's other movies like a 7. I'd like do like The Avengers. It's like, it's a good movie. Like, it's above average. It's 2 points actually above average. And then you can rate everything in between, but 5 is average. You're going to have more 3s, more 4s, more 6s, more 7s, rather than everything being a 7, an 8, or a 9. On the regular rating scales, if you give something a 6, people are like, oh my god, you hated it. What about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1? Don't forget them.
Okay.
I probably have the worst grading scale ever, and I don't think that's correct.
Worse as in like it's not useful?
Yeah, I'm that one guy that when I go to watch a movie, I'm like, dude, that movie was great, and then there's people like you're like, that was the worst movie I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Are you a yes or a no man?
No, I'm more of like
everybody.
Everybody goes, oh, dude, this fucking movie sucks. Don't watch it. And I'm like, well, you know what? I saw a little bit of promise in that. You know, that one scene where that one thing happened. I like that scene, and then everybody else, like the rest of the movie probably sucked. But like, I'll just like, I don't know. Like,
That's
you
true.
ever watch the movie Tag?
I was gonna say you thought Tag was a masterpiece, didn't you?
Dude, Tag was fucking beautiful. I bought that.
I had
What?
fucking nothing to watch on a plane, and I started watching Tag, and I stopped it and went to sleep. Like,
Dude, Tag. Oh my god, it's a masterpiece.
Okay.
A masterpiece.
A masterpiece, he
Jay?
says. Okay, so Scott, here's why your grading system licks taint. So first of all, the whole idea of you rating something 5 being average, nobody else is going to use that. So when you give your rating, make sure that you say it's on the Scot taint licking scale, because when somebody sees, oh my god, he gave it a 5, he must have hated it. You have to basically,
I'm
bring
trying to
people
get
back
I'm
into
trying to get
perspective.
everybody on this.
Okay, well that's not going to happen. But the reason why I grade on a grading scale is because everybody knows that an A+ is what you strive for, and an F is something you never ever ever want. So that there's
Really?
yeah, dude, there's there's no debate, there's nothing left up to interpretation. It's A, B, C, D, F. That's it.
I got a lot of Fs in high school, so I like to uh, say your grading scale sucks dick.
Well, just because you got a
I-
bunch of Fs doesn't mean that the grading skill is a failure.
You know what? You
'Cause
know, I give
everybody
you
knows.
Jay. I give you a 4 out of 10.
Okay, so that's
on
a
Scott's
F.
grading
You
scale.
know
give
what? You know what I'm
oh,
gonna say?
That's a C.
You know what I'm gonna say?
minus.
I understand where you're coming from, and I can understand going after that rating system because it is simple.
It's
But I
so
will
simple.
say that the grading system does not have you don't have enough flexibility with it.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. Like you can get A+ or an A- with the grading scale. With my grading scale, you can give it an 8.25. You know what? It was an 8, just slightly better, a little better than average, or whatever you do it.
Isn't that what A+ and A- is
Yeah.
for though, and an A?
Yeah.
Like if it was an A, it was good. If it was an A+, it was amazing. If it was an A-, it was good, but it wasn't like. It
Yeah,
wasn't
but you
an
still
A.
only have like the 6 ratings. You don't have 10.
Yeah,
You have
I
10.
don't want 10 though. See, here's
You
the
have
problem.
for
with-
years. You have 10, but you only use 5 through 10.
Yeah. Like, how many
That's what I'm
ones are
saying.
you going out watching?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I've seen a couple, and that's where I saved that for that. Just like I've seen a couple 10s.
Okay.
I don't see many 10s.
That's
either.
why I reserve F minuses. It's very hard to get an F minus.
What about an A+?
A plus. It's I don't think
You can
it's
save an A+
easy.
today.
No, I just gave it A minus, and I gave the other
Oh,
thing an A. Relax. An A plus would be like Casino. That was like one of the best movies of all time. Like that's
That
an A
movie's
plus.
good.
Yeah.
Still, I think it's actually, is it in Casino or the Goodfellas? That scene, where fucking Ray Liotta is like calling Joe Pesci, and he's like, Joe Pesci's about to get become a
Oh,
made
he's about
man.
to get whacked, and he doesn't know
Yeah,
it.
and he
That's
gets
Goodfellas.
whacked. Yeah, and then he's like talking on the phone, like crying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh, good.
Jacob, you haven't seen Goodfellas or Casino, have you?
No, I haven't. But that sounds funny.
Dude,
It's
I
not
never
supposed
watched.
to be.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like we had a gangster one, and I had never watched a lot of the videos of
Oh
gangster
my
podcast.
god.
So I went back and watched them. Completely skeptical. Blew my mind. Fucking amazing movies. We're talking like
Masterpieces.
9.0s.
Oh, dude, A pluses across the board.
Dude, as good of a movie, one of the best movies around. Like some of the scenes in this movies, like there's a scene where there's one of my favorite parts is that, like I think they're like I can't even remember. It's just so spread out. I remember there's like one part where it's like at some bistro in the middle
Yeah.
of nowhere, and next thing you know, like someone's getting whacked, someone's getting beat up. There's one part where this guy delivers some food to Joe Pesci or some shit, and he just beats the shit out of him. Whew, classic.
Are you talking about Billy Bats?
Yeah.
Where he says, "Hey Tommy, go get your fucking shine box," and then he just loses it, and then he like kills
Beats
Billy
the shit out
Bats.
of him.
He
Yeah.
killed a made man. That's why he got whacked at the end of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Spoiler alert. It came out in 1995 or something.
I know. Go watch it. I do believe me, it's worth the watch. Like it's more impressive than you think.
Yeah.
But anyway, does anyone else have anything else to say before we wrap this bad boy up?
Yeah. One more thing.
Okay.
Oh.
I do know a couple of people that have a yes or no grading skill, and I will say that is almost as good as any grading or rating scale that I've ever seen in my life, because it's either yes or no. If you would recommend it, then you say go watch it and leave it up to them for their interpretation. If you don't, then obviously you don't want them to see a piece of garbage like that. and I've even seen people do that with like potential partners too, which is pretty shallow, but it also works. It's a yes or a no. It's pretty gross.
Yeah, but the thing is in that yes or no rating system, is a yes hey, I really need to see this in theaters, or is it I need to buy the Blu-ray, or is it
no,
I'll wait for it to be on Netflix?
As
it's
a yes or no rater, I'm gonna let you know. A yes means I thought it was good. You should watch it. A no means wow.
Yes.
I like pretty much every fucking movie, and this one sucked dick. Don't watch this movie.
See,
My point
that's
is-
the beauty in it. That's exactly what I was getting at, Jacob. You nailed it on the head. Yes means yes, go watch it. There's nothing else that yes can mean. Just means watch it.
So yes means that you should go out to the theaters right now and watch it. And no means everything else.
You're thinking it over too much. A yes just means yes, watch it.
In any state. That's too simplistic.
Yeah.
No, that's simplistic.
That's why Roger and Ebert both got fucking cancer. That right there.
Oh
Well,
God.
Are you saying I'm gonna get cancer?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I might get cancer too.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
true.
But I'm 23 now. Dude.
No, there's a art in that simplicity though, because it means either yes, go watch it, or no, don't watch it.
Yes, I can understand that too.
What we can both agree on is I have the best grading scale.
You have almost the best grading skill.
All right. So let's wrap this up. Thank you everybody for tuning in to the.
How about shout outs first?
Yeah, let's
I
do
was
that.
just kidding.
Jacob, you go first, you dick.
Shout out to everybody who wished me a happy birthday. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Jay's mom. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to Josh and Jackson and Nate.
My guy Nate. Hey, shout out to my wife. Shout out to Patrick, Robbie, Kat, Raven, our great listeners. And shout out to Jesus himself.
Wow.
Oh. Wow.
Shout out to Javad. Shout out to Jacob's mother. Shout out
Thanks.
to Ben's mom. Shout out and a rest in peace to Neb Notwa. I went and saw a movie inadvertently with him today. And that is it.
Hey, y'all. I want to say thanks for being here. Have a great life and have a good day. And speedy delivery.
Oh, wait. Hang on. One more shout out. Shout out to my brother CeeLo. He is 43 today.
Ooh.
Hey, you forgot to shout out Patricia too. She's a listener.
I thought Jacob shouted her out. Well, if he didn't,
No.
shout out Patricia.
Yeah. Also, your brother's not as important as me. It's my birthday, not his. So.
I know he's not the same amount of importance. He's more important than you. So there's
Okay.
that. Yeah, there you go.
Hey guys, goodbye.
Bye.
Dun, dun,